Hi everybody, let's talk about one of the most important things you do when you sell a home, and that's setting the price, setting the list price. There's a lot of different philosophies, and one of the major ones is to price high and lower the price until you find the highest price at which it will sell. So let's talk about that rule of thumb right now. It's a good rule of thumb, but it's got three big problems that you need to be aware of so you get the most money for your house instead of selling it for less than you could have. Hi, I'm John Wake. I'm with Real Estate Decoded, and I'm a real estate agent with HomeSmart in Arizona. The first problem with the start high rule of thumb is that the best week to sell is the first week a home is on the market. And I did a study. I looked at every home that sold in Metro Phoenix MLS in the year 2014, single family homes, non-distressed. And there was over 57,000 homes. And of those, the ones that went under contract the first week we were on the market sold typically for the full list price. The full list price, that's ideal. And that's because, well, it's easy to see why. Buyers know it just hit the market. There's a lot of other people that are looking at the home right now that they have competition. That same home, same price, 4 months later, that same buyer is not going to pay full list price because they know they have no competition. So the problem when you price high to begin with, if you price too high, you scare off any potential offers that first week when you have the most leverage as a seller is that first week. And problem number two is similar to that first week problem, is that the negotiating leverage that you have as a seller is highest the first week, but by the third week, it's fallen to sort of a normal level of negotiating leverage. For example, the first week, if it goes under contract, they sold for full list price, but if it went under contract the third week a home was on the market, the sale price was 2% lower than the final list price. So the negotiating leverage quickly shifted to the buyer. And then in fact, it continues shifting towards the buyer. So if you go out 4 months, then it's not 2% being typical, it's 2.5%. So you're losing a little bit as time goes on. So you lose a lot the first few weeks and then a little bit from then on. So the longer it's on the market, you're losing negotiating leverage. Problem number three is the buyers really focus on how long a home has been on the market. Buyers always ask, what's the price and how long has it been on the market? And they decide how overpriced it is by how long it's been on the market. So you need to lower the price to get an offer the longer it's been on the market because homes get kind of tainted. They think, well, everybody's looked at this for 4 months or 6 months, rejected it. So there's got to be something wrong with this. There's something wrong with it. But eventually the price gets attractive and I think, well, the price is still pretty good. Let's try it. Let's make an offer and we'll come in with a low offer. So I made this great graph on the Phoenix market, which shows you as the number of weeks on the market increases, the final sales price gets lower and lower compared to the original list price. That's because partly you're losing leverage on the negotiating. And it's also because buyers want to see lower and lower prices. Homes get kind of tainted the longer they're on the market. So the basic problem is the highest price at which your home will sell changes over time. It tends to fall a little bit over time. So what's the solution? One, get really clear on what the value of your home is. Because if you're uncertain, you think, hey, let's just start high. I'm not sure what it is. We'll start high and come down. That is a recipe for taking months and months to sell and selling it for less than you could have during the first month or the first week. So if you're really uncertain, just hire an appraiser. They'll give you a really good idea of what the value is. It's going to cost you a few $100, but it'll probably save you tons of time in selling the home and probably save you a lot of money as well. And the second part of the solution is to lower your price fast because the value of the home is kind of declining a little bit as it gets on the market longer and longer. So you want to cut the price quickly enough that you catch it here instead of here where prices are, or the price of your home will be lower. So I suggest looking at the price and adjusting it and reducing price like every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks at the most. Another thing to be aware of is that in the Phoenix area, and I think this is typical, is that half the homes that actually sold, this isn't including the maybe 30% of the homes that were sold overpriced, they never sold, is that about half the homes that actually sold were under contract within 5 weeks on the market. So if your home has been on the market for 5 weeks and it's not under contract yet, you're already doing worse than most people. Most people by week 5 have already got an offer on their home. And in fact, more homes go under contract the first week on their market than any other week. So it's not uncommon for homes to go under contract the first week they're on the market. And finally, a couple of caveats. In hot markets, the whole pricing system is different. And in luxury homes, it's a totally different animal. So this doesn't really apply to luxury homes. Great. Hopefully this video wasn't too long and you found it useful. Please leave a comment below. If you haven't already subscribed to realestateDecoded.com, go there and subscribe so you can get email updates of these. And I appreciate it. If you have any questions, leave a contact. If you know anybody who's thinking of buying or selling a home anywhere in the United States, please send this video to them so they can get a feel for the dynamics, the economics on pricing of homes. Great. Thanks. Take care.